Hey there, welcome to day 21 of our SOAP framework and our free Get Up and Go challenge. Today is day 21 on August 21st, 2021. Kind of an auspicious day. I don't know if it's auspicious or not. We'll see how the day plays out. But it is a fun topic today. We are going through the SOAP framework, S-O-A-P. Here, this is a better SOAP black. The SOAP framework, we've talked about our story, our situation. We've picked a relationship in our life and we've said, okay, what is our current situation? What do we want it to be? We used the aid of our imaginary friend to have that conversation. Then yesterday we visualized and we came up with all kinds of options and things we could possibly do. Now I'm going through a relationship with my enemy or a difficult person. So I brainstormed a bunch of ideas and I came up with different options, different things that I could do. I've got like 21, and then I narrowed it down to a list of 12 because I want to do nominal group technique for demonstration purposes, for a tool that you can have in your toolbox to analyze these possible options, these alternatives. So if it's an easy thing and you just automatically know what to do, you do what I call the countdown blast off. You just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you take action and you do that thing. If you're going to research or look something up, you just grab your phone and ask Google. You can push a button that you can talk to and say, Google, how do I explore this option or this opportunity? But for more complex situations, in our relationship, I don't know about you, but relationships tend to be complex. Some of the more complex things that we'll deal with in our lifetime because they involve another human being, unless we're talking about our relationship with ourselves, and that's probably the most complex of all. So I came up with some ideas. I'm going to read you a couple of them. Consider the resource, or consider the source, follow the golden rule, see what's useful, judge, avoid, blame, make excuses. That's what a lot of us do. Dig up some dirt or investigate. That's not a very nice one, but it was kind of funny. Meditate or mediate or litigate. Get a communication coach or a guide or somebody that could help to facilitate the conversation. Take a course or a class or a master class. Get some counseling and help to be a better communicator. Or if it's a situation where you need to communicate with this person and have a relationship, you want to build that relationship. Otherwise, hey, I say walk away. Avoid the people that aren't for you. You can look for books or podcasts or other resources to help you with relationships or with dealing with enemies or bullies. There's lots of that out there. Or get to know the person, build a relationship. So those were just some of the things I came up with that were possible options, right? Maybe we get thrown together in some kind of a situation where a survival thing, it's the zombie apocalypse, and we have to figure out how to work together. So what's this nominal group technique? I'm going to share the tool with you for your action item today, just like the other previous A days, action days, because nothing happens to fill the gap. Nothing changes if we don't take action or do something. The clearer we are on the situation, the where we are versus where we want to be, the more tension and pressure we'll get just automatically to start filling that gap to get us from where we are to where we want to be. That's part of why we clarify that story right in the beginning. So, nominal group technique. What the heck is this? I am going to use a very simple version of nominal group technique. And I wrote it on our board backwards. Hopefully I got all the letters and numbers backwards so that they appear forward to you. Nominal group technique. Relationship, action, enemies, group techniques, ratings, options, etc. So what we do is we just make a simple grid. What I love about nominal group technique is you can do it. It's a great team type of, or more than one person type voting technique that takes the personalities out of it. A lot of the discussion and opinions are shortcut. That's why it's a great team problem solving tool or decision making tool, because it takes out and you take out all the ancillary discussion by people voting right up front, and then you look at the results and you start to have the discussions that you need to have to make the best decision for you or the team. My daughter, I actually taught her how to do this technique when she was 8 years old. She won a puppy at the Pheasants Forever banquet, and she wanted to come up with a name for her puppy. So she got a notebook and she started writing down 3 pages of names. And then over the next 3 days, it took her 3 days to name this puppy, she had everybody in the family, there were 4 of us, vote on our top names that we liked. And she used that strategy to narrow down, and I don't even remember how many iterations we did of voting and how many times we went through and voted on her list. But over the course of 3 days, and it doesn't take 3 days to name a puppy, I understand that, but it was cool to see if an 8-year-old can use this strategy to make a decision and giving a puppy a name for life, that's a pretty big decision to an 8-year-old. You can use it on big and small decisions. You can use it on relationships. You can use it on, again, to take out some of the emotion and the complication that's usually associated with relationships we have, especially haters and competitors and bullies and enemies and people that want to see us fail. So here's my quick, dirty nominal group technique for this particular action item to make a decision. So seek to understand, not about me, dig up the dirt, forget it, and then learn NLP. And I put forget it because there's some people that are enemies we just don't have to engage with. And I find it's easier to not engage than to engage with people, because you're probably not going to change their mind unless it's a situation like work or job or significant other that you got to figure out how you're going to cohabitate or co-create in the planet. And then all you do is you vote, and I could have 4 other people or how many other people I want think about this and say, okay, if you were faced with a situation where you need to deal with an enemy, what would be your first choice? And we give the highest number, 5, out of the number of options to the first choice for anybody. And usually if you're doing a big nominal group technique, like if I was doing all 21 things that I came up with, I would just have people vote from 22 and then down to, it's like a weighted vote. So 20 is the one they like the most, and then 19, 18, all the way down to 1, and then we just would have one that would fall off by default because it got the least amount of votes. We wouldn't vote for all the options. So you can do it that way too. But we just vote 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 based on what we feel given the time that we vote, the instant that we vote. That's why in team groups we'll vote on all the options, and then we'll go -1, and then we'll do it over and over again as we narrow things down and have some discussion. So as you can see, I'm the only one that voted on this so far. I said seek to understand would be my number 1 go-to action or option or response. That's what I would do first. Then I would realize and remind myself that usually when there's a conflict with another human being, it's not about me at all. It's about what's going on with them and something that I've triggered in them that is they're giving a negative response. So what might I have said or done that triggered or is getting that person to respond to me in that way? So I look to well, I guess that's seeking to understand too. It's more in-depth seeking to understand. Dig up dirt. Would I research them? Would I investigate them? Would I look for ways to deal with them? Maybe. It depends on the situation. Forget it. Chances are 99% of the time, if there's an enemy or a hater or a bully or something, I am just going to choose not to engage and choose not to participate with that person. Now, there will be that 1 to 3 to 10% of the time when I need to stand up for myself or people I love and care about or my business or a student or a client, and I will take that on. I won't forget about it. I'll take that on and I'll deal with that situation head on. And then learn NLP. I just threw that one on there because that is a neuro-linguistic programming is a way to improve communication, and it would take me a long time probably to learn because I've never learned it or studied it, but that would be an option as well. So nominal group technique is just a way to rate your different options to help you more clearly understand and make a decision what you want to do right now, so that you can use the countdown mechanism and say, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to seek to understand. I can do that right now. I can start looking into the situation, looking into the person more clearly, and understanding where they're coming from and what's going on with the dynamic that they are my enemy or my hater. I also did this with a relationship with my sisters. You can see this is a little bit more complicated nominal group technique. We had 9 options. We actually had 10, and I took 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and voted on the different possible options. It's very messy, but that just goes to show you I do this all the time. I don't do it on yes or no things, where am I going to go eat, simple decisions, but I use it on more complicated decisions. That's it. Go out, do the nominal group technique on your options. Pick an option, take action today. Share in the comments below the action you took. Any questions, ask, and I will be with you tomorrow. That's my 10-minute timer. Have a great day. Bye.